Well, I don't know about you guys, but I have had a day. The transmission has gone in my car and I know nothing about cars. All I know is that they have quoted a heck of a lot to fix it. And I've realized that I was very triggered by, I don't even like that word triggered, but I was really upset by it. Not because it's my car or it's a lot of money, but more because I like to be free. And without my car, I don't feel free. I feel like I am stuck. So that kind of set my day off in an interesting fashion, and I feel like I'm kind of treading water, catching up. But you know, it's Friday, and so on Friday I love to share something a little bit more, I think it's because then I can hide on the weekend, but anyway, a little bit more spicy, I guess, about skincare and natural skin and looking after your skin. And one of the things that really gets me is when people talk about like skincare when it's clean, and when you read the ingredients, it's not clean, and that makes me really mad. So clean beauty is obviously like a catchphrase, and you go to like the clean beauty section of the store or whatever, and there are so many products in there that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole, and I especially would not let my teenagers go anywhere near. There is a shop very close to me that markets itself as clean beauty for tweens and teens. Oh my God, it's a junk heap. Do not touch that stuff. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to get sued, but it's disgusting, right? So one of the things that I am super passionate about, and anyone who is doing like really clean skincare will shout from the rooftops about what they're doing with their products, because we're so proud and usually like super passionate about what we're doing. And it's way more expensive to use really clean products than it like really clean ingredients and to do it properly than it is to hide and pretend your product's clean and not. So one of the things I'm going to talk about is, because I just want to make like a really classic example. So do you remember like a little while ago on the app that starts with T and then has another T? I won't say that because then I get like, it doesn't like it when you talk about other things on here. But they were talking about slugging. So slugging was essentially when you went to bed at night, you cleansed your face and then you put Vaseline all over your face, which is petroleum jelly. Do you know what petroleum sounds like? That's right. Sounds like petrol, right? So one of the issues, okay, so a lot of people will talk about, and I'm talking about people who have studied medically, that you should not put anything on your skin that you can eat. I've spoken about this a lot because I have some very good Italian and Greek friends who were completely brought up coated in olive oil, and it's a new thing or a current way of thinking that you should never put anything that is food based on your skin, because that will increase your tendency to get food allergies. I don't know. I feel like the way we were doing it for many, many generations worked much better than what we're doing now, because I've never seen so many children with sensitivities and allergies and all of the things as now. So I question that. Maybe you should question it too. But if you have a think about petroleum jelly, right? So one of the issues with it, so yes, it is an occlusive. You put it over the top of your skin and it keeps the moisture in, but it also keeps in anything. It doesn't allow your skin to breathe. It doesn't allow for that, natural respiration and cellular turnover and all of those things that happen at nighttime. And if you're living in a clean home if you're diffusing by your bed and you've got all those beautiful essential oils, those molecules floating around your bedroom, do you want to block them from going into your skin? I don't. I know that we've got EMF blocking curtains, and we have turn our Wi-Fi off at nighttime, and we have the diffuser going by the bed, and we've got a hygrometer so we measure that we don't have an excess of moisture in the room. So we know our home is very healthy. I don't want to block that respiration process that our skin goes through. But one of the benefits of using petroleum jelly is that it can hold that hydration in. There are other things that you can use. So it can be, one of the biggest things is it can be cleaned sufficiently that it is not, contaminated with things. But how do you know? How do you know what you're getting? It's only like $3 a tub, right? So, my parents used to use it on me. We've all used it, right? I think many of us have used it anyway. But the reality is that it often is contaminated with PAHs, which I don't want to go into the chemical name because I'll say it wrong and it'll be embarrassing. But essentially, they are contaminated with known carcinogens, and I don't want that on my skin. I certainly don't want it on my baby's skin. My youngest baby's about to be 10, so I can't really call them babies for much longer, but still they're my babies. And I don't want that. So what are some other options? So some other options are things like shea butter, jojoba oil. Sorry, I got a little funny thing in my throat. Coconut oil, if you like it. Some people don't like it for skin. You can like whip it with shea butter. It's quite a nice texture. It's kind of, what's the word? It sort of melts on your skin. There are a lot of other options. You can add cocoa butter into it to make it richer and slightly harder in the tub so that in winter it doesn't melt. There are lots of other things. So essentially, when you're looking at the ingredients for something, do you want to buy something that says it's clean, which is not regulated, not that regulation is like the answer to everything, or do you want to buy something where you actually trust the person who is making it because you know that they are so passionate about it, they would not sell you shit. Really? That's what I want to know. So at the moment, whilst I'm redoing the website with all of the things, one of the challenges that I'm coming up with is, do people really want to know exactly what it is that you do with all of the detail and the passion? Is that how other people buy, or is that just like me? But what I want you to know is that you have to be the detective, because so many people are going to try and hoodwink you. And unfortunately, that is what we have to look out for, and we need to learn to be our own detectives. So much like we know generally that processed food is bad for us, we generally know that skincare that is readily available is not good for us. So you need to learn to be the investigator and do a little bit of detective work into it to understand what you're actually putting on your skin, what you're actually giving your kids. And I know that I hear a lot of times that as children become teenagers, that they rebel against their family's natural ways, and the parents end up like bending and buying them stuff because, say it's skincare or deodorant's a big one, because all the, especially boys at school, are spraying the spray deodorant everywhere. And so they no longer want to use their like kooky woohoo roll-ons anymore, right? You can bend all you like, but what they put on their skin is not something I'm going to bend on, because I think it's really important. I would much rather bend on food, right? So saying it's, I think that it is better to, like with teens, I don't know how I got onto teens, but far out, I'm just going to follow this path. But when teens are going through those years where they need to be in rapport with their friends, to bend with things like food and junk food. And for instance, if they're, and I'm not talking to you, my friend who's on here, but if they're going to camp, I used to not let my daughter take sweets because I didn't want her to take sweets. I wanted to take something healthy. But the reality is she needed to be in rapport with her friends. And so I just let them take, I mean, I did after a while because I learned more, but I just let them take the sweets, and she would come home and she would feel like rubbish. And then she wouldn't, she doesn't eat sweets here. So it was just a bit of a difference. And yes, I got my husband off deodorant because I've shared the story before with my mum. The moment that she was diagnosed with breast cancer, they said, are you using a regular deodorant and are you wearing an underwire bra? Stop doing both of those immediately. Why on earth is that not taught at school then? So when you are spraying deodorant into your armpits that has aluminium in it, number one, you're blocking like your body from being able to detoxify. And number two, you're putting aluminium in your lymph nodes. What a great idea, right? Like, we know that our lymph nodes, then our lymph system is carrying it around our body and it goes up into our brain. And we know that excess aluminium in the brain is linked with Alzheimer's. What the fudge, hey? What the fudge? So I spoke to my man about it and said, it shrinks your testicles. Fragrance shrinks your testicles and can give you cancer, so stop using it. And he did. So I also talk about that to my boys, and they always say that when they're at school and everyone's spraying that crap everywhere, they're like, oh my God, I just want to get out of the room. And have you heard of that thing that they do when they're on camp, where they like shovel the younger kids in the room and then they bring extra deodorant cans so they can spray it all in there and like suffocate them with it? That's a thing, apparently. Who knew that was a thing? Anyway, my poor son, I try to tell him that it's okay if it happens, once a year at the rowing camp, but he's thinking, oh my God, my testicles are shrinking. But all I'm saying is that you need to really know what are in these products that we're allowing on our beautiful, tender babies' bodies, especially as they grow and change and when their hormonal shifts and they want to fit in with their friends. We really need to educate them. If we don't explain what these things are doing, like, our kids are smarter than they've ever been before. They've got access to more information than they've never had before. And if we just go, okay, yeah, that's fine because you want to be like your friends on that one, I don't know. There's got to be a limit somewhere, right? I mean, we've hard enough dealing with social media and phones and all of the things, but what are we going to protect? And I tell you what, I want to protect like I say to my son when he's got his laptop on his lap, I'm like, mate, you want to have kids someday. What are you doing? Why have you got that radiation device on your testicles? Like, nuts. Didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean the relationship there. Anyway, that is my thing for today. Clean beauty is bullshit. You need to be the detective. You need to know what to look out for. And if you want to learn more about it and you need a hand, let me know. There are lots of clean, like actually really clean beauty brands now. We are so fortunate. This is a period of time where we are gifted with products galore that we can choose from, brands that we can trust. Find them, support them. Don't buy the shit. I know that, I had someone say to me this morning that she's been using a bottle of my oil since she bought it at Christmas time. She hasn't finished it yet, right? So one bottle of 50 mils lasts more than 6 months. It is a fallacy that natural products are more expensive. It's just not true. So find a way, find someone to teach you and mentor you through it. Let's protect our children from the rubbish that is available on the shelves, and let's up-level all of our lives and lift our vibration. That is my Friday thoughts. Oh, thank you. That is my Friday thoughts. This is a really great opportunity. This is the very end. Actually, I've got to make sure that discount code is still working, but it is the very end of my 20% off, because I'm telling you, these product labels, and my friends have seen them, are just about ready and we're flipping over. So if you want to get in, get a bargain on things, now is the time. And trust me, they're really clean. Everything is made fresh. It is made in micro batches, so it is not sitting there on the shelf. Do you know that when you buy a product from a store, like a cream from a store, it is between 2 and 5 years old? No wonder they have to put so many preservatives in there, because that's disgusting. Mine are at most a month or so old. So we're talking about super fresh, super potent, made with love. They are energetically coated. I put so much into it that you wouldn't even know, and I don't know if I'm prepared to tell you exactly what I do to them because it feels so witchy. But anyway, that's what I do, and that's what I pour into the products for you. They are clean. There's a lot of stuff out there that isn't. So if you want help to be a detective, let me know.